to our final session 0 of the day. This one is for the Overgrown campaign. The Overgrown campaign is a sequel to a previous campaign that I ran, and I totally forgot to announce that we were going live again. Could someone do that for me? The Overgrown campaign is a sequel to a campaign that I ran probably 4 years ago now. It was my first D&D campaign that I had run as the Dungeon Master. And when it last left off, the party had ignored the blatantly evil guy for probably 5 or 6 sessions. So he got to go off and do whatever he wanted, and what he wanted was to resurrect his warlock patron. I have to dig through some notes. I didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare, so I will have to be digging through notes. In the meantime, um, if everyone wouldn't mind introducing themselves, we will once again start with me and then move left. Uh, my name is Angel. I'll be the Dungeon Master for this campaign. I'm also the Dungeon Master for our Mahu no Baku's stream. This campaign will take place on the first Saturday of every month. Given that this is the first Saturday of April, that means that the first game for this campaign is on May the 4th. And I'm realizing I gave the wrong dates for Baka on that stream, but that was this morning. Can't correct that now. Sumaboa, left, I believe, is you, Beal.
Hi, hi, hi. Yeah, you're gonna see me a lot. I'm here in all three campaigns, either as a DM or as a player. I'm Beal, Beelzebub III, if you're trying to look for my Discord username. Um, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for about 3 years. I'm here, cause I can. Yeah, that's about everything you need to know about me. And to my side is I assume that's Dracul. That's Dracul. Yeah, Dracul.
Hello, I'm Dracul. I've been playing D&D since about 2017. Uh, I've dabbled in Pathfinder, both first and second edition. I've DM'd a few one-shots every now and again. Uh, I will only be playing, and I'm really only going to be in this one. I've played in a few other streams before, never really went anywhere. Um, but yeah, overall, I'm just excited to be here. And then to my left, I believe that is Smiter.
Uh, it's dude. That's just my nickname on this particular server. But yeah, yeah. That's an old joke from an older campaign. Yeah, I'm Dude. I also am in the 3 streamed campaigns. I've been playing D&D for about 7 years. I was one of the contributing factors in this sequel campaign starting up, though that wasn't quite my intention. Hoping to have some fun. To my... that'd be my right, actually. From my perspective. That way. Is going to be Cobalt.
Hi, I'm Cobalt. I don't have a face cam yet, but I play D&D pretty casually, kind of on and off with it, and yeah, I'm always excited to play. I might have a face cam at some point, but other than that, just imagine it's there. I'm just a little guy. To my imaginary left, on my PC, it's to my right, is Mark or Mork.
Yep. Hello, I'm Mark. I am. Yeah, I've played D&D for a bit. I think I was here for the last stream. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just here. I'm having a great time. I want to play D&D. I'm glad to be here.
I guess that leaves me. Hi, I'm Grey Wolf, or Michael, as you might hear me referred to. I've been playing D&D off and on for a while. This might be the only campaign I'm in, but I'm here.
Wonderful. And while you all were introducing yourselves, I actually had enough time to go and actually find the fucking big bad name. um, so, to start out, we're going to go ahead and talk about content things, and then we're going to work into world things, and then we'll finish off with you guys actually being able to discuss your characters. So, before anything else, does anyone not know how to work Roll20? I love not getting answers. Cool. I'm gonna take that as
I know how to work for 20. How about
I'm
that?
gonna take that. That works perfectly fine.
Fixing my mic. Someone pointed out it was quiet.
Oh, lovely. Cool. So I'm not going to go through the breakdown of how to work Roll20 this time. No one here is a new player. Everyone says they know how to work Roll20, so I'm going to trust that. In terms of content, this world is the most sandbox thing that I've ever run. Every city in the world has a different plot that's, exists, but you can, of course, choose to not engage. You can choose to move on. There is no overarching goal. Your goal is whatever you guys decide as a party. As such, I can work with just about any content that you guys want me to put into the game, or it might just be, one day we have one tone for the campaign, and the next day in the next city there's a vastly different one. During the last campaign that I ran in this world, the largest stark contrast that stands out to me is that in one city everything was very, very comical, mostly because the party didn't really engage with the plot at all. They kind of just went around and did their own thing. Meanwhile, in the next city, it was essentially a horror campaign. So with that in mind, it is more important here than in any other campaign that I've ever run that we talk about if anyone has any content they would not like to appear in the game. Because everything is literally just subject to whatever I decide to prepare. Is there any topics that we need to avoid? Is there any tone that you guys would like to see more of? Any tone that you guys would like to see less of?
Not less of a tone, but more of visual thing. I am not a fan of descriptions of things crawling under people's skins in any way, shape, or form. If we don't have that in the game, that would be great.
Cool. Give me a second. Okay. Anyone else?
I'm cool with anything.
I'm
good with
nothing.
Also cool with anything? How much worse is this? Mic-wise.
Honestly, if anything, I'd say you're almost a little bit loud, but it's probably just because I have you turned up.
Okay.
I don't know why I have you turned up, but...
Probably because I'm naturally quiet. I just did a bit of bass boozer. It's better? Okay, thanks, Bonk. We'll leave it at this for now. We'll figure it out later.
Cool. So as long as that's the only content things, the only thing that I will note with that is that if there are other heavier topics that come up, I will address them as respectfully as I can. Obviously, I can't experience everything in the world, so everything might not be 100%, accurate to someone's real experiences. Hopefully, though, that doesn't come up too often. With that, is there anything else you guys would like to address before I get into character creation and lore dump?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think you're...
Sorry, my audio cut out. What was the question?
I said, is there anything else that you guys would like to discuss before we get into character creation and lore dump?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good.
I just realized my knee jittering was shivering against the table. Okay, so for character creation, everything will be following the guidelines of the Milan Adventuring Company. Anything legal there will be legal here. Any spell rulings there will be spell rulings here. We will not be using starting feats whatsoever for this campaign. However, as is the case with all of my campaigns, we will be using my campaign array. Those are your numbers, 16, 15, 14, 13, 13, 8. You can apply them to any stats you would like, just so long as those are the numbers that are present. With regard to multi-classing is not something I allow until you have hit level 4 in at least one class. That's just to make sure that everyone has a baseline level of usefulness when something comes up. Yeah. What am I forgetting? Oh, I completely forgot to mention this to Mahu no Baka, so I guess we're not going to do it. Within my campaigns, when you hit 0 hit points, you will go ahead and make your first death save on the spot to represent your immediate condition. That could mean that you immediately get up, that could mean that you immediately have 2 failed death saves, and it is fully possible that you will die before anyone has a chance to save you. Things happen. What am I missing before I get into world things?
Starting level?
You guys can feel free. Starting level is going to be 1 for this campaign. However, you are likely to progress quickly, at least to level 3. Leveling will be milestone adjacent. For lore reasons that I'll explain in a moment, most of your leveling will be based on your renown within the world. In other words, the more big name things you do, the more you level up. While it sounds much like milestone, it is important to note that it is entirely based off of your public perception. If you guys do something, and you let someone else take credit for it, they would be the ones that would be leveling up, not you. Oh my god, there's something else. With your starting equipment, you can feel free to sell any starting equipment for its full gold value, and you can purchase any other equipment in its place.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I do have one question. Actually, no, I don't. I think I'm good, actually. Never mind. My brain died. I'm good.
You want to ask it anyway, just in case.
But I forgot it.
Amazing.
It wasn't that he thought the
Well, I
question
can't
was stupid, it's that he forgot the question, period.
I said I'm stupid, but I forgot the question.
Amazing. All right. If anyone thinks of anything that you think I missed, please do let me know. As I said, I didn't have a ton of time to prepare for this campaign. When I made the announcement, I had decided about 30 minutes prior that I was going to be running it again. So my prep time is that 30-minute period plus the little bit of downtime I had this morning. With regards to the world, you all are in the world of Astron. Astron, A-S-T-R-O-N. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm in a public place. Things randomly got that didn't happen. The world of Astron is a world in which the gods have made it in, I think, where they place people they find interesting. Someone they're not willing to claim as their own, but they don't want to send to the wall to have their soul destroyed. These are people who may not be particularly affiliated with any particular god, Or if they are affiliated with a god, perhaps their god simply thought that they would enjoy it here, and so they decided to place them within the world. As such, although there is an ethereal plane to it, and this will be considered the material plane for all intents and purposes, interplanar travel is largely not possible without crossing through one particular point in the world. The world tree is a physical concept here rather than a planar map. And it is only through the world tree that you would be able to access any other planes, such as the Feywilds, the more conventional Faerun material plane, the Shadowfell, anywhere else that you may decide that you want to go. While it is fully possible to cross the physical intake, it is fully advised for
You are cutting out quite a bit right now. I don't know how much you can do about it, but I can barely hear you.
Understood. Nothing. I can wait.
Wonderful.
Happens. You
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
I can barely understand what
please
he's
do let me
saying, but I'm
know.
trying.
Please do let me know when it fixes itself, and also what the last thing you heard was.
I'm pretty sure it fixed itself, and we all heard about the world tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Physical concept.
Okay.
Yep.
It is a physical concept. It is a thing that you can cross if you want to get to those places. However, it is ill-advised for those that are not prepared to deal with the worst of any of the planes they're trying to get to. Within the world, for both Cobalt and Wolf, both of you have played in the first campaign, and I believe both of you attempted to bring your characters into other campaigns of mine that were discontinued. For all intents and purposes, please just ignore that the secondary campaigns happened, and we'll be picking up. Yeah. Hey, yes, out of Wolf, I got a nothing out of Cobalt, but good enough for me.
So I keep
Perfect.
forgetting I'm on push to talk.
So this campaign will be picking up 1 year after the last campaign, which means that over the course of the last year, the lost entity Avassh, the creator of all plant and fungal-based monstrosities in the world, has been released onto the world by the inaction of the last party in the campaign. And these plants and monstrosities have taken over most of what people would consider to be inhabitable space. Forests are entirely hostile at this point. Any grasslands or woodlands are primarily overrun. The cities in them have either been completely destroyed, overtaken, and the people in them are either dead or have had to flee to less hospitable areas. This means that wherever you decide to start, I will largely leave it to you guys where you want to start, but your options will be generally considered non-life-giving terrain. This is your volcano settings. This is your... I feel like there's a word for volcano settings. I don't know. This would be high mountain regions. This would be tundras. This would be deserts. Where you guys decide to start, again, entirely up to you. I am entirely writing around you guys.
Nice.
Because you're leveling, go back. Because this is the demo plane created by the gods, this is what impacts your leveling. And this is why your notoriety and your renown is directly related to your leveling. Your skills are that which people believe that you have. Dress for the job you want, except it's an actual concept in the world. For most people, this means things like if you want to be a blacksmith, you should go start learning how to be a blacksmith so that people believe you know how to be a blacksmith. This would not be a widely known concept, but it is important to address out of character with all of you. In a similar vein, that does mean that you won't always all be the same level. If one of you is taking credit for everything the party does, that person will level up higher than the others. Similarly, one of you could end up going and doing something that would, how to phrase. During the last campaign, one person in the middle of the campaign made a deal with an ancient entity that gave them a leveling warlock where no one else had leveled up. This was a skill that others now believed that they had. So yeah. Are there any questions on anything that I've covered thus far, or anything that you think I've missed?
Nope.
Not really.
Nope.
Uh,
In terms... Oh, I'm sorry?
You're good.
In terms of notable events around the world, obviously within the last year, the world stopped existing. There were plants everywhere, killing everyone. I would have to go dig up some really old notes for an exact timeline, but within the last 20 years, most of what would be the equivalent of high-level adventurers, well-renowned fighters and such, they were all killed off. Most of them fought in an arena within the city of Rastu, the Rastu, until an adventurer came through and turned the not death matches into death matches. He emerged undefeated. He killed all of them. And then he retired because there was no one left to kill. He had done everything. In other words, there is basically no one in the world who is equipped to deal with this plant-based threat, except for three big-name figures within the world. The three big-name figures, there's Gilgamesh the Sorcerer. The old party met him. He is the one that killed off all of the other high-level adventurers. Rumor is that he did try to go deal with Avassh, and he failed, and no one has heard from him since. There is Loeke, a warlord that terrorized the world of Astron for several hundred years. Many people believed that he was unkillable, and as you can guess, that meant that he was, in fact, unkillable. He too went to go deal with the plants, except people are well aware what happened to him. He is still trapped by the plants. And then the third, most people don't believe she exists. The third is a woman known many different names throughout the world. You could say just about any name, and as long as you refer to her as the druid, people will understand. She has not made a public appearance to deal with the plants whatsoever, and her existence is debatable in the sense that the very few people that claim to have encountered her have always encountered her alone and lost in the wilderness. Beyond that, anything else that I go into is probably only relevant if it's relevant to your backstory. Those are all of the overarching world maps that I can recall without digging through all of my stuff. Is there any questions on any of that, or should I just go ahead and turn it over to you guys?
I don't really have an idea of what kind of character I'll play. So that's the only thing I got. But I don't have any questions as of right now.
All right. Well, in terms of you picking a character, I think that's a you guys' discussion.
Yeah.
Cobalt, Wolf, I do assume that you guys will probably play Drip and Zarabok. Um, if not, that's perfectly fine, but that was my assumption, since or when I went to go invite you guys back. So if there's anything else relevant that you guys feel that you should bring up to the others when you go through character creation things, please do so. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it to you guys to figure out who you guys want to play, what things you might need to know in order to play those characters, party composition, anything of that sort.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, do
So,
you guys want to start off?
Well, I am indeed probably playing Zarabak again. He did die in the last campaign, and then came back with a essentially a Necronomicon and became a warlock instead of his original barbarian self.
And now, I did just remember, I have to go find the old magic item notes on that. Do you have them anywhere?
Only what I remember from my brain hole.
Okay.
I can check as well.
Well, that's not great. I will go dig through DMs to go find that for you.
But
I
that
do
is-
love brain hole. That's a great word. The
yeah.
brain hole. The old brain hole.
But yeah, that's who I am playing. He's a half orc warlock instead of what you would expect a half orc to be.
So, what's everyone else thinking in terms of class?
So I've got two potential ideas here. One happens to be a reborn necromancy wizard, and the other would be a gloomstalker ranger. The gloomstalker would be a winged tiefling. Their whole thing was they were drafted into a military as part of an archer division. They tended to be part of the stealth unit within it. And eventually, during a battle, a landslide would take out most of the group, and then he would have made his escape then. With the necromancy wizard, he is a reborn from a bygone era when he was originally a dark knight who attempted to become a lich. He was killed before he was able to transform, and he has now awakened with no memories of anything he had done in the past, and he looks to solve what might have happened to him. And those are the two main ones. And then I was thinking about another last night in Oath of Conquest, Leonin Paladin. But depending on how the group shakes up, the Paladin might not fit with the group.
Yeah, my previous character Drip, who I probably will bring back. He was a paladin. I could always continue him as a paladin if that's preferred. I believe it was Oath of Vengeance when I selected. Sorry, give me 1 second.
I don't know what oath you are, but if you wish to continue as paladin, the rationality behind you losing your old levels would be that because the world is based on renown, and because you guys were entirely in a woodland area, everyone that knows who Drip is dead now.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you
if
wouldn't
it's
have it now if they're corpses.
yeah, either paladin, and if the paladin route doesn't go, or if Dracul, if you want to do the paladin, then I'm totally cool with doing a fighter because it's also fitting for his character.
All right. I would like to learn what the other characters might be before deciding on Paladin, because if we end up with a group that's relatively silent in the terms of how they would approach combat, I would much rather not have the loud brash, like time to go at this fully frontal assault type thing.
Personally, I was considering Arcane Archer fighter.
Alright, I guess I'll figure... My brain was like, oh, I'll try. I guess I could try a fighter, but seeing as everyone's kind of going for marshals, maybe I might try a spellcaster. I don't play too many of them, but
Should try something new.
Yeah, should be fun to give it a shot.
I got 3 options. 2 of them are marshals, so I'll start off with the caster. I got a warlock. I'm still trying to decide on the oath. I will not lie. Probably gonna end up in Genie. But that's, you know, that's its own thing for later. I got a plan for a samurai fighter. And a plan for a... Where was it? Right, and a plan for a soul knife rogue. I might decide on a different subclass, but generally a rogue. And in the order of the classes that I stated, for the races, it was some form of human, a minotaur, and probably some other form of human. But if it's looking like people want to play marshals, I am perfectly willing to just play the caster. And, you know, vice versa.
Real quick, for all of the not beer people, I currently have the campaign sharing link for the Miran Adventuring Company coming out. You will only be permitted to use your campaign character within that link, and I will be removing you all after your characters are set up. So you will be given back the link in order to level up and such as we go through the campaign. But this campaign sharing link is only intended for people that are subscribed on the thing. I just want to make sure that everyone has access to content to set up your characters.
Yeah.
I'll have to do some thinking about what character to make then.
I do have my character done since I just reset him back to level 1 and I'm just going to reuse a previous character.
I'm playing.
I'll get you. Go ahead.
I'm playing full casters in the other 2 campaigns. I'd rather not do another full caster here.
Yeah, I'll do the warlock. I'll figure out the build.
So I'm hearing the two warlocks, a fighter or paladin or wizard or ranger. The question mark full caster.
Don't know what I'm doing yet. I'll figure something out. Right now I'm kind of just looking around. I keep saying to myself, maybe I'll play a druid, although I tried playing a druid once and then hated it, so...
I'll probably be going... Oh, you go.
Because this might help you guys make a decision. Do any of you have a preference in what sort of biome we start in, or what sort of story we begin with?
Not really.
No preference.
As long as we don't start out in the instant death hell zone I'm
That
fine.
was like the least helpful answer from everyone.
Not
Yeah,
clear.
I don't have a
Instant
preference
death
really.
also.
I mean, I
I like.
assume instant death would mean anywhere in a forest, so or near a forest. So, I think it's pretty safe if we go a volcanic area or a desert area, right?
Yeah, either this work.
I think you think I have a comprehension of a map which I do not have.
It's a world, dude. There's stuff. I can put you anywhere.
Can we start at the bottom of the ocean?
Mariana Trench. Let's
You
go.
know, I will say, I think that's the one place I can't start you guys. I don't know how I get you down there.
What if I play a merfolk? I'll play a merfolk. Yeah, you can
We're
play
a whole gang
Triton. I'll
of
play a merfolk.
merfolks and
mermaid
Triton
campaign.
and sea elves, and we just hit down there to escape the
Everyone
plan.
is either a aquatic person or they're undead. Easy.
Yeah, we're all water
Um,
grass. We got to get out of there.
Well, no, you could there could even be fathomless warlocks, so you could be really whatever.
Let's go.
Really?
Let's all come together.
Okay, I heard a volcano or a desert. So for
Yeah.
the two people that were here for the last campaign, I will go ahead and raise the topic to you. Do you guys want to go to Turtle Land or do you want to go to Twig's hometown?
Oh, dude, let's go see Twigs people. For sure.
Okay. So, if you guys are going to Twig's hometown, that would be a desert-y place. I don't have my notes in front of me on what the fuck happened there, because I didn't used to keep detailed notes. I'm going to have to dig through my DMs with Squid. But, if that helps any of you at all, you'll be in a desert town, primarily occupied by Tabaxi.
I see.
And I say town, it's more of a nomadic camp,
The village.
a tent city, if you will. But yeah, if that helps any of you figure out who you might want to play or how you might get there, or raises any world building questions that I might be able to answer from memory, please.
Mark, if it helps, I realized I could also probably go cleric with my character.
I don't have a preference. I played a lot of characters, but really, I just think I'm going to try something that I haven't before. So it's not going to probably be a martial character anyway.
Okay.
It might be a druid, although I'm gonna have to do something goofy to make it entertaining for me.
I'll probably either be going Arcane Archer Fighter or Splashbuckler Rogue.
Sounds fun.
I'm not anticipating fun when I go Arcane Archer.
Well, you fool, I'm telling you, you're having fun now.
Fun was not a choice, it was a demand.
This is not a request, this is a command.
I'm being held at Fun Point.
You're being held at Fun Point, very true. This is my order. You are going to have fun and you're going to like it.
I have to draw us a thumbnail for this session. When you start doing that now.
You're going to have fun and you're going to like it. Ending.
Yeah, then if that's the case, then I will probably be going with the Gloomstalker, then my wing tiefling.
Cool. Yeah, I don't really have race or backstory lined up yet. I'll figure that out as I make the character.
Your Gloomstalker is the one who went with an adventuring build, correct?
Yes.
So I can go ahead and go through some world building notes with you to help you out with character creation if you'd like. Assuming, of course, do you want to have been near what was essentially ground zero for the plant outbreak?
You know what? You know what? Yeah. Let's have him have originated from around ground zero.
All right. So, I don't remember the fucking city that Ground Zero was in, but it was right near Verastu, the city that had the gladiator arena that I mentioned. Um, as well as, give me one moment while I make this tree angry. There we go. That'll be our thumbnail. Um, as well as the large scale kingdom in which the outbreak did originate. Your guild would have been positioned in the middle of the two. Vrastu would likely be a solid starting city if you wanted. It was once a major trade hub for the world and a major tourist destination to the gladiator arena. And then Gilgamesh came through and started killing everyone, and then people quit going. The Clearwater Guild is an adventuring guild that was located in between the two. If you're looking for your starting point, and that's where you're looking to be, probably, if you want to be near ground zero, it was less than 50 miles to the city where Avassh was released. The Clearwater Guild has two main claims to fame. The first one being that once a year, the Clearwater Guild would become inaccessible from the outside, and anyone who had remained within the guild was a corpse when everyone was able to return. Allegedly, this was no longer the case as of about a month before the plant outbreak. I should really come up with like a name for that event because I just keep changing what fuck I'm referring to it as. But as of a month prior, that was allegedly no longer an issue. The first group of people did survive the week when the guild was accessible again. It was, if I recall, a group of 8. How many of you were there, Wolf? Go. It was 6 plus Lily plus. Is that it?
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7. There's a group of 7. And a lizard man known as Panther Lily took credit for everything. Whether or not it's true that the guild was now no longer cursed is up for debate, given no one's there anymore to know whether or not it was successful, and the problem is not a problem. Out of character, yes, it was resolved by my old party. The other major claim to fame is that it is where the dude that killed all of the people in Verastu got his start about 20 years before the campaign would take place. So about 10 years before everyone started dying in the gladiator arena. It is where Gilgamesh, the dude that killed them all, got his claim to fame. He allegedly took care of a horde of dragons. Not a dragon with a horde of dragons. Plural dragons. And he came back from that incident relatively unharmed compared to most people, despite having been a relatively no-name individual prior to that. And there is a bit of a story there, but that's a story for private and me rambling rather than world building that everyone would know on the stream.
All right. Yeah, that is definitely something that would be looked into and very helpful.
We'll stick around after the session, I got you. Okay. For Zarabak, we'll have to figure something out as to where and how we are not so destroyed by Evil Book. Because I don't even remember what I said for that the last time that I had you on one of my campaigns. If you intend to play Drip again, if I recall, Drip, Zarobok, and Twig were the only ones in your party that actually got along.
Yeah, dude.
Correct.
Drip and Zarbok were bros.
Although he didn't like me when we first met because I just beat up on children, but that's a story for another time.
That's a.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that kid's probably dead now.
Fuck that kid.
Oh my god. Oh, and there was Janine. She's probably dead now too.
Good.
Anyway. So, I would say it's probably safe to say that when Avassh was initially revived, and when the plant monstrosities came and started doing their thing, your party likely got split up. And in order to get you into Twig's hometown, you've probably been trying to meet back up with your old party. If you'd like, that means we could throw you and Zarobot in together. You've been traveling together. The flip side to that is that, Trip doesn't really know that Zarobot is alive. So that's kind of, or the more accurate statement would be, as far as Trip is aware, Zarobot died and had his soul eaten. So whether or not you guys want to do that is up to you. And I would leave it to you guys to figure out how that meeting actually happened.
Zarbok jump scare.
Zarbuck
Um,
eating book.
That was so sad. So we like did one decent thing. He was a decent human being one time. The other three. Any of you have any ideas? Anything that I could use to get you put somewhere? Or
Not
if
really.
Yeah, I have no idea where I'm going at all. I came in here with a single idea, which is closer to a marshal, and then everyone's like, yeah, we're going to play mostly marshals. And I was like, okay, I think I'll have to switch things around a little. So I have some ideas, but nothing concrete anymore.
I'm all good with the Oops All Fighter campaign. Let's do it.
I considered it, but I think I'll go for something else.
Alright, Deal, that just leaves you. You got anything for me?
No. I've actually decided on making an Archfey Warlock, and, I think we're good to go. We're good to go.
Okay, do you need any help figuring out how you're getting to where you're at? Or anything of the sort?
We could probably talk about it in a bit. After the...
I heard it in a bit. That means I think ideas still developing, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's not a right now thing. That's a,
Mhm.
when I'm no longer sniffling thing.
Gotcha. Alright. Well, does anyone else have any questions? Any other character building things I can help with? Any other character things we need to discuss before we all head out?
Don't
Any
think so.
questions about character creation or campaign?
Equipment things. Are we doing the same bits with gold, or... I feel like...
Yes, you can sell any starting equipment for full price, and then you can buy whatever else you need.
Alright.
Excuse me.
Alright, everyone good?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright. Well, then, thank you to everyone who joined us today for not only our session zeros here, but our other two session zeros for Fort of the Dragon Queen and for Mahu no Baku. Once again, this game will take place on the first Saturday of every month. This monthly schedule is only to ensure that we get to run all of the campaigns that we actually want to run, and also to make sure that our DMs don't get super tired, because I cannot run a weekly campaign. I've tried. That does mean that our next stream for the Overgrown campaign will be on Saturday, May 4th. For the players, I do ask that you just get any character information to me before then, so that we can work through any of those things. Yeah, thank you everyone, and have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you later.
Bye bye,
Bye,
stream.
ciao.